obviously I have high expectations for myself. But first things first, I got to obviously get a job and get that opportunity.
So I'm giving Wilson a C minus, which is a low grade. But my confidence level is also low. So I'm going to say like a 5 out of 10 just because of all the unknowns with him.
Just anything I was doing, really, I was always kind of the underdog.
Nowadays, the tight end position is starting to evolve. It's starting to kind of flourish.
Hi everyone, I am Mackenzie Salmon. Welcome into Sports Seriously, a new show coming to you from the USA Today Sports Network. We're tapping into the conversations fans and reporters are having and combining our insights with your fandom. We take ourselves seriously, but not too seriously. My co-captain this week for our special NFL Draft Edition is USA Today Sports Now reporter Annalise Bailey. You ready to talk some draft stuff?
I am.
All right, let's start the show off with the 3 things everyone is talking about from the NFL draft. First things first, our front pager. Aaron Rodgers is upset, and apparently the Broncos are gunning for him, but the Packers fans are nervous. According to reports, he doesn't want to return to Green Bay. The Packers made a statement saying they're 100% committed to Aaron, but the Broncos are looking like the favorites in a possible Aaron Rodgers trade. This tweet from Trey Wingo basically sums up all the drama. It says, the Packers reportedly told Aaron Rodgers they were going to trade him in the offseason, then backed off. It's been a bleep show between them ever since, and within the last week, Rodgers told the team, trade or no trade, I'm not coming back. Buckle up, folks. Yikes.
As if draft night isn't wild enough, draft day, we had Aaron Rodgers upset. Yeah. We have reports of Tim Tebow requesting a tryout with the Jags at tight end. And we have Justin Fields as a Chicago Bear. Like, it's just, Mackenzie, it's a lot.
Yeah, which I'm glad you brought that up because that brings us right into our thing number 2. Quarterbacks dominated round 1. Everyone knew Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson were going to go where they were going to go, but literally the biggest shock of the night was Justin Fields to the Chicago Bears, in my opinion. Did not see that coming. Wow, that is huge for the Bears. I'm happy for him. But also, Mac Jones to the Patriots. Did they finally find their Tom Brady replacement? Who knows?
Yeah, to be determined with the Mac Jones-Tom Brady comparison. But the moment of the night has to be Chicago. I mean, Bears fans have been on this wild roller coaster ride for years. And now they're over the moon. I'm not a Bears fan, but I'm so happy for them. And this is night and day from how I think Chicago felt when they traded up for Trubisky a few years ago. I mean, Bears, I'm calling it now. They are the winners of the NFL draft.
100% Bears were winners on the board. But let's talk about some of the winners on the red carpet. It's time to give out some fashion grades. Let's start off with Mr. Number 1 overall himself, Trevor Lawrence. How'd you feel about his fit? It's pretty chill.
Yeah, very relaxed. I gave it a B, and the only reason why I'm underwhelmed is because his brother, Chase, kind of showed him up with his Jaguar print suit. But It was a custom suit from Indochino that he designed himself. He wore an Indochino earlier this month for his wedding. So I love that consistency.
Consistency is key, yes.
Someone else who I loved, Patrick Surtain, a.k.a. PS2, 2 because he was number 2 at Bama, and he's the second after his father. What did you think about his fit?
I love it. I love the fact that he played into the whole name of PS2, and then he's got it all dripped out on himself with a PlayStation 2 controller. I was a huge fan back in the day, still kind of fan. Miss it, love the games, but like to come out on draft night looking drippy like that with the PS2 chain that matches like the initials on his name to me, solid A-. I love it. Wasn't my favorite fit of the night, but solid A-. Now, someone that I know you mentioned you love, DeVonta Smith's outfit because of how classy it was. What would you grade this one?
A+. I'm a sucker for Southern charm. He had the initials on his lapel, the initials on his shoes. A+.
A+. Okay.
Now, someone who I give an A++ is Kwity Paye. His suit inspiration was the Black Panther. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. I mean, representing the first black superhero on draft night. 10 out of 10. He also had on Dior ones, which I know, Mackenzie, you probably loved. And, fun fact, his suit was actually made by former Packers player Adonis Jennings.
Like you mentioned, I love the nod to the Black Panther, the Dior ones, the details. A++. This was by far one of my favorite outfits of the night. I loved it. A+. However, Zach Wilson, very clean cut, looked kind of like he was going to prom. How'd you feel about this one?
Internship. I give it a solid B-. It was businessman vibes, but honestly, if he tried to sell me something, like maybe a car, I'd probably buy it.
I agree. He still looked very clean. Nothing against him. Just, not our number one overall of the night. But from fits off the field to fits on the field, we have our draft expert, Steven Ruiz, give his draft grades for the top 3 quarterbacks after the break. All right, guys, day 1 of the draft is in the books, and we are ready to give out grades and see why things will or won't work out for the top 3 picks and quarterbacks. Joining us now is a reporter who's got the equivalent of an Olympic gold medal in the sports podcast circuit, and he's seen every throw from the top 4 quarterbacks in the draft. It's our NFL lead draft writer, Steven Ruiz from USA Today's For the Win. What's up, Steven?
I'm just happy that draft season is officially over. I don't have to think about this anymore. This year was really bad.
Amen to that. Now, jumping right in, let's give out some grades. So, not surprisingly enough, Mr. Trevor Lawrence is officially a Jacksonville Jaguar. What grade are you going to give this pick, and how confident are you in that grade?
I'm giving it an A+, but I think any team that was drafting first overall would have made the same pick, so it's not like an A+ the Jaguars actually earned. Trevor Lawrence is just that good, and my confidence level in this grade, giving it an A+ is like a 9 out of 10. That's the highest I'm going to go, just because the draft is a crapshoot. But there's no weaknesses to his game. He does everything well. He does everything at a high level.
Okay, Steven, you said there's no weaknesses to his game. A 9 out of 10 is pretty high. So why is Lawrence going to succeed in Jacksonville?
I think he's going to succeed because he's the type of quarterback that you can run any offense with and you can ask him to do anything. And I think one thing that stands out from his film is he's so good at turning bad situations into good situations. Like if he's getting rushed and there's no blockers to stop pass rushers, he has no problem evading the pass rush and just throwing a dime 50 yards downfield. He's that talented.
All right, moving on to the second pick. BYU Zach Wilson is a New York Jet. What grade would you give the Jets?
I'm going to give this a C-, and that's mostly because of who was on the board, and I'm talking about Justin Fields. But Zach Wilson is a good prospect. I think he's a first-round pick in most drafts. The problem is we just don't see players that look like him get drafted this highly in most years. He's 6'2", which is tall enough, but he's really slender. He has a tiny frame, and he suffered injuries in college, so I think that's a big concern, as well as the level of competition he faced at BYU. So I'm giving Wilson a C-, which is a low grade, but my confidence level is also low. So I'm going to say like a 5 out of 10 just because of all the unknowns with him. The fact that he is smaller, the fact that he played schedule in 2020 where there were no Power 5 schools on it. I just think it's hard to project what he can be, but the flashes on film show that he might be a good quarterback eventually.
Steven, will they succeed with Wilson in the way that they couldn't with Darnold? Or could this also be a bust?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up going the same way, but I will say this about Wilson in comparison to Darnold. I think he's more steady and more consistent. Darnold had problems with decision-making and accuracy in college, and that wasn't really an issue for Wilson in 2020. It was in 2019 and 2018, but it appears that he's solved this.
All right, with the third pick, the Niners selected North Dakota State's Trey Lance. Is this a passing grade?
I'll give it a passing grade, but I have absolutely no confidence in this grade whatsoever. I mean, he could be a bust or he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's that talented. The problem is we haven't seen him play football since he was 19 years old. And it was against FCS competition. He wasn't playing against, Alabama, LSU, those types of teams. The range of outcomes is just so wide.
So I've got to ask, will this work? Won't this work? And why?
I think it will work, and only because of Kyle Shanahan. I think he's a coach that makes things so much easier on his quarterback compared to other NFL coaches. So really, I don't think Trey Lance is going to have to think a whole lot his first couple of years. He's just going to be able to throw the football, and he's really good at throwing the football. He might be better than everyone in this draft, including Trevor Lawrence.
Will the Niners regret passing on Justin Fields?
I think they might, just because Trey Lance might take some time to get to a point where he can play because he is that raw, whereas Justin Fields is going to be ready to start from week 1. So 49ers fans might see him performing well elsewhere and then look at Trey Lance sitting on the bench, and they might wonder why we didn't take the guy that could play right away.
Steven, what does the future look like for the Jets, Niners, and Jaguars in 2021?
I feel like the Jaguars sneakily have maybe the best chance of making the playoffs just because they play in a weaker division. I think they got the best quarterback of the 3 by far. And I think their roster was pretty good last year. It was just held back by a bad quarterback situation, and that is obviously not a problem anymore. As for the Jets, I think that's the team that I'm worried most for, just because Wilson is a smaller player. He might get hurt in year 1. I think he's an unknown, and the Jets are working in this new coaching staff where they're trying to replicate what the 49ers did with Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. But you never know if that's going to actually work in New York.
Ben, the Jags have literally never had a franchise QB before. So Trevor Lawrence is going to come in here. How much pressure is on this man to do something that we've never seen before?
I think in any other city, there would be more pressure. But in Jacksonville, Jacksonville fans talk themselves into Blake Bortles for 5 years. So if the bar that you have to clear is Blake Bortles, I don't think Trevor Lawrence will have any problem. Jaguar fans were ready to fall for Gardner Minshew, who is not very good. So again, Trevor Lawrence, he has the hair. I guess that might help him too in Jacksonville. I don't see how this ends up going bad.
If for some reason the Trevor Urban experiment doesn't work out, could they possibly move cities?
I mean, that's always the question with Jacksonville. It's been a thing where they've kind of been flirting with London. I think the owner has invested into Jacksonville, the city, especially around the stadium. So I don't know if that's going to happen. But, I mean, if you can't make a winning team out of with Trevor Lawrence, then I don't know if it's possible. But if Trevor Lawrence fails there, maybe you just look at Jacksonville as a place where you can't win in the NFL.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this week, Steven. Be sure to check out all of Steven's draft content on forthewin.com. Steven is a rising star himself in the draft industry.
Yes, it is always good to catch up with him and just hear everything he has to say about what's going on.
Next up. So he might not be from a Power 5 school, but he was a first-round draft pick and a possible franchise quarterback. We have got Trey Lance. Stay tuned after the break. Prior to Trey Lance going 3rd overall to the San Francisco 49ers, we spoke with him this week to get a sense of his upbringing, motivations, and the expectations he has for himself in the NFL. Here's my conversation with the newly minted San Francisco 49ers quarterback. He hails from Minnesota. He made a name for himself in North Dakota. Now he could very well be one of the future faces of the NFL. His name is Trey Lance. Trey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. So you're here with us on behalf of Old Spice. So tell me what they're doing with Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America.
Yeah, I'm super excited and really honestly proud to be partnered with Old Spice. Not only the products, but like you said, their partnership with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, putting the spotlight on mentorship and just the way they're committed to helping, guys in the next generation build confidence and reach their true potential. Everything they've done, I wouldn't be where I am today without mentors. So them putting the emphasis and spotlight on that is huge for me. And check out more at bigdraft21.com to learn more about it.
And so I heard that the Lances have a family motto. We believe in making a difference in the world. So how important is that for you to use your platform as a potential future face of a franchise to help make a difference in the world?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, that's why I'm on Earth. I don't believe that I'm on Earth to be a football player, even though it is what I love to do and what I want to do for as long as I possibly can. But yeah, it's what my family believes in. That's what I believe in. So I definitely want to be able to have an impact on people greater than football.
I was going to say, who in your family instilled those values in you? Because that's really serious. That's huge.
Yeah, my mom and my dad, for sure. Both of them. It's just kind of been how we live and what we live by since I've been little.
Yeah. I love that. Getting a little bit into a little bit of your career between playing one season in the FCS and then, another getting canceled due to COVID. How NFL ready do you feel like you are, and what expectations do you have for yourself rookie year?
Yeah, I'm going to be super excited, obviously, tomorrow to find out where I'm going to be at, and then just have that opportunity to get into an organization and compete, earn respect, and learn as much as I possibly can. Obviously I have high expectations for myself. Short term and long run. But first things first, I got to obviously get a job and get that opportunity.
Yeah. You told Good Morning Football that you think you have the potential to be one of the best quarterbacks in this class, and we could see a record number of quarterbacks go in the top 10. A testament, I guess, just to how deep this rookie quarterback class is. Why do you think that you could be a cut above the rest?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the mindset you have to have as a quarterback. And the other guys I know for a fact will tell you the same exact thing. And I think that's, like I said, just the way you have to think. The confidence I have in myself and belief in myself is kind of what's gotten me to this point. So why stop now?
Yeah. Do you expect to play your rookie year?
I expect to have an opportunity to find out where I'm going to be at. And like I said, I'm going to make the most of whatever my role is my rookie year and compete for the spot and learn as much as I possibly can.
Yeah. Our draft guy, Stephen Ruiz, said that he would compare your game to Steve McNair.
He had that special running ability. He had that special arm talent, and he even played at a lower level. I don't know if he's ever going to reach that height where he can win an MVP like Steve McNair did, or at least I don't think that's realistic, but he has that type of talent and maybe could become a type of player that can carry a franchise for a decade.
Do you think that's an accurate comparison, or who would you compare your game to?
I try not to put myself in a box like that because typically when I get compared to someone, it's someone who's really very established themselves and done very well in the league. So for me, it's just about being Trey Lance and doing the best that I can.
Yeah. By the nature of the position, quarterback is just a leader in the locker room. How would you describe your leadership style, or how would you describe Trey Lance to your future teammates?
I guess first things first is just that mutual level of respect, and that's earned, obviously, respect from the jump. So for me, it's about coming in and learning as much as I can, like I said, and being able to be a role model, being able to be someone that the guys can look up to or lean on in the locker room.
Yeah. Whether it's, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, a lot of the greatest always find motivations from people who doubt them. And I know a big theme in your life appears to be doubt and proving doubters wrong. How does that doubt from others fuel you?
I'm from small town, kind of from the middle of nowhere. Just even having this opportunity, being where I'm at, being at North Dakota State, playing quarterback, all those things are things that people didn't think I would do. Proving people wrong is, again, something that I love to do.
Yeah. I'm curious how those experiences in Minnesota or even North Dakota helped shape you today as a player, as a man.
Yeah, everything. I think just the people I've been surrounded with. I've had mentors my whole entire life, whether it's coaches, teammates, or just, like a big brother, someone that's like a big brother to me. So I think I've just been super blessed to grow up and live in great communities that are supportive of who I am and what I want to be.
Funny enough, I heard that your dad keeps a spreadsheet for everything he does. Does your dad have a spreadsheet for draft night?
He does not. Those are more decision making.
He doesn't have a spreadsheet for draft night. What?
It's gonna be exciting.
Everything.
It's one of those things where obviously I don't think where I'm gonna be at. The things that I can control, he absolutely has a spreadsheet for just about everything.
Okay, is he gonna be with you on draft night? What's your draft night gonna look like for you?
He is, yeah. It'll be my whole family will be there. A lot of aunts and uncles and cousins. My best friend from school will be here, and my younger brother. So it'll be a lot of fun to be able to spend some time with family.
Well, hey, good luck. Wish you the best. Thank you so much again for joining us. We appreciate having you on Sports Seriously.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Mackenzie, Trey just speaks like a franchise quarterback, and I think he's ready for this moment with the Niners. And I'm honestly loving the pairing between him and Kyle Shanahan.
Agreed. And especially when you look at his on-the-field intangibles and you match that with the person you meet off the field, it's kind of easy to see why San Francisco is giving him the keys to the franchise. But coming up in our next block, Annalise and I share our favorite moments from our sit-downs with some current and future NFL stars. So we're rounding out our NFL Draft special edition here, and there's a lot to process.
Yes, so it seems like an appropriate time to do a little Sports Seriously vibe check, Mackenzie. We're going to take a look at all of our favorite moments from the guys we spoke to this week.
Yeah, we connected with DeVonta Smith, Kyle Pitts, and George Kittle, so let's do it.
I spoke with DeVonta Smith this week, Alabama standout, Heisman Trophy winner. Mackenzie, I know you spoke with him a few months ago, but I need the people to know that this man is very, very chill. I'm talking cool, calm,
very
and
chill.
collected to the max. We spoke about his accomplishments, but also whether or not he has a chip on his shoulder when it comes to the criticism he receives of his size. So let's take a look at what he said.
Just anything I was doing, really, I was always kind of the underdog. But I mean, I've been in this situation a lot. So I mean, me overcoming it, I mean, that's something that I feel is no pressure doing because I've been doing it majority of my life.
I honestly love his vibe. I feel like he's just being really confident. And there's a difference between being cocky and confident, especially in this industry. When you get to this level, you got to have that sort of a vibe around you.
Agreed. And I loved when he said there is no pressure because I've been doing it my entire life.
Exactly.
At first, hearing him speak, I was like, oh, like he knows he's been the underdog. But then after, I'm like, oh, he knows, he uses it, and he's ready for the league.
Yes, we love that. And while you got to speak to a Heisman winner, I got the chance to connect with star tight end Kyle Pitts. I asked him, especially in this year in a draft where so many quarterbacks are being taken so early, why should a team with a top 10 pick a tight end over a possible franchise quarterback? And he said it perfectly.
I feel like nowadays the tight end position is starting to evolve and it's starting to kind of flourish. To be able to be involved in the pass game and in the run game is kind of something that has made the position kind of special.
Yeah, and tight ends like we've seen, like Gronk, Kelsey, Kittle, have shown that they can be key cogs on championship squads. Tight ends can be the most flexible position, just like the unicorn. They become nightmare matchups for defenses, and they're starting to be legit difference makers in the league. And I think Pitts can be the face of a franchise.
Agreed. Great vibes all around. He acknowledged that the tight end position is always evolving, which I love that. And I'm really excited just to watch him grow and see his journey progress when he's in the league.
Yeah, and apparently so is George Kittle. The Niners star tight end spoke with us earlier this week, and he had some really amazing things to say about Kyle Pitts. Let's check it out.
I think Kyle Pitts is a very good football player. I think he's going to do really well at the next level, tight end from Florida. He's just kind of a highlight reel, so that'll be fun to watch.
I'm a sucker for, the vets talking about rookies, and it's so cool to see someone in the league so accomplished speak so highly of Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, and even though we haven't seen Kyle Pitts, obviously, and what he's been able, or what he will be able to do translate to the NFL, like you said, it's cool to see guys like George Kittle, star tight ends, talk about a kid like Kyle Pitts. It's like a little mini fraternity of tight ends. I love it. Let's do one more vibe check on George Kittle, though. It has to do with a new ad he's in for Kingsford. He went full wrestler mode, and I'm not sure how I still feel about it, so let's take a look.
Welcome to the Smoke Show! I do everything 100%. All flavor, baby. No fillers.
Mackenzie, he did that. Like, he got into character. The Oscars were last week. He could have been nominated for a few of them. Like, he was really feeling it. I forgot that he even played football, honestly.
I know, because you see some athletes and it's like, they could pass on the acting career. But he was really good. And also his hair, I don't know if those were extensions or if that was his real hair, but I need to know like what shampoo conditioner he uses, because that was wild.
Yes, definitely some Trevor Lawrence vibes.
Yes, I love it. But guys, this draft has been wild for prospects and for us. But since we can't get enough football, next week we've got New Orleans quarterback legend who's better get his announcement voice ready.
Introducing Drew Brees.
That was a great job. Good job with that.
And we've also got another quarterback who's ahead of schedule from his recovery from injury and has Dallas fans dreaming big. You know who I'm talking about? Yeah. The one and only Dak Prescott.
Yeah. And Annalise, I'm looking forward to these in-depth conversations for sure. As always, you guys know we talk more than X's and O's on this show. So be sure to join us next week. I'm Mackenzie Salmon.
And I'm Annalise Bailey.
Hey sports fans, if you want to see more videos like this, check out some of our other ones right here. And if you like what you see, make sure to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more from USA Today Sports.